This is why. This is something that's really just been something I need to tell you. There's a reason why God chose you. It's because they won't choose him. God's giving you a story of your own because they refuse to read the stories about Moses, about Joseph, about anyone. And most of all, they're refusing to read the story about Jesus, which is why Jesus is using your life to tell a story about his. Like, one thing that I always just seen in my life is how God will use people. People may not have seen or read the Bible, but they can read your actions. They can read what you do. They can read how you show up each and every day. And that's why things are getting tough. That's why things are getting hard. Because God is showing that same grace, forgiveness that he showed to you and allowing you to show it to other people. People are starting to notice how you still keep your head held up. People are starting to notice how you still pray. People are starting to notice how you still show up even in today's world. And God's just asking you to keep going. They may not see it. And truth be told, some people may not ever see it. But the right people will. When you walk into that room, when you walk into that apartment, that job, that school, there's a light that's coming off of you that most people don't know about. And they'll only get to know it the more you keep shining. But you have to keep shining for God. You can't rely on performance. You have to rely on faith. God knows why you're doing what you're doing. He knows you've been praying for other people. He knows you've been praying about your situation, about your finances, about your life, about your relationship, and God sees it all. But most importantly, one thing I don't think you're seeing right now is the story that's being formed, the testimony, a literal chapter, maybe even a whole book in the Bible, of a story you get to go back and tell others, a story that leads others back to God. Like, there's so many ups and downs in your life, but don't get me wrong, those are all good. God has you going up to show people they can elevate, but he also has you going down to go back and get the people who are here. Like, just because you're going down doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. There's people at the beginning who need to see you, who need to see how you handle forgiveness, who need to see how you handle anger. But he also needs people to see how you handle blessings, how you handle favor. So he has you going on this loop of just spiral, just up and down, not because you're wrong or you're doing something wrong, but because there's people out there who need to see you, and in turn it will help them see Jesus. Like, your life tells such a great story about who God is, and it needs to continue on. So many people will come to know who God is just by your actions. So many people don't read the Bible. Some people don't even know about the Bible. Some people don't know how to pray, but because you do, you can lead them to it. There will be a day where they come to you like, man, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? And now you're able to give them an answer. The answer isn't continue to rely on your own strength. The answer is continue to rely on his. No, he's putting you in front of those people for a reason. He doesn't need you around more saved people. He needs you around more unsaved, which is why you've been planted there. You've been planted there for a reason, because God needs you there. He's allowing your roots to reach their roots, because your roots are in God. And when God reaches their roots, it roots their whole root system. Like, one thing I'm just reminded of is just in Timothy, how it says, because you continue to do good, it won't just save you, but it will save the hearers. It will save those who hear about what you're doing, about what you're praying, about how you're living, those who hear about it. So I understand you might be in a situation like Paul, where it feels like you're encapsulated, where it feels like you're in jail. But I just want you to think, what if God has you in a prison so you can reach the prisoners? So you can reach the jailers, so you can reach the people who are around you, who may not see what's been locked up inside of you, but you can let it out to them. Maybe you're in such a bad place because you're the one good thing that's going to produce light to the whole system. Like, I just need you to really just take a deep breath and just realize, what can God do with your situation? You're surrounded by unbelief. You're surrounded by darkness. What more perfect spot can you be in to share the gospel than that? You have to remember, Jesus came for those who are sick, not for the healed. And so if you're in a space right now where you're around a whole bunch of sick people, just take it as an opportunity and a blessing that God trusts you so much with the light he put inside you that he knows it can help them in their own darkness. God has brought you out of your own darkness so he can help people do the same thing. He's given you a story to tell, a life that represents his life. It is not something that's just in you, it's in everybody, but everybody can't see it in themselves yet, which is why God has you there. I know it's tough. I know it's hard. But God needs you. He does. We see countless stories of people who run away like Jonah. But God's not going to let you run. You may see fear. You may see giants. You may see trials and tribulations. But just like Caleb and Joshua, I need you to see them and be like, yeah, this is the promised land. This is the place God needs you to be. They're there so I can help bring it out of them. They're there so I could turn the promised land into what God needs it to be. They're there so I could go in and bring others with me. God needs you to capture the attention of those around you so that God can have it. Because their attention is on so many other things, but also their attention is on you. They may not be saying the greatest things about you, but they're saying things about you. They're noticing things about you, and they wrestle with it. They may not always present it in a loving way, but you have to remember they don't always know what love is. You could be the one to teach them by how you react to it. Somebody says something mean, you turn the other cheek. Respond with love. But also know when enough is enough. Know when it is your time to step up and let God do his job. Know when it is time to understand that God is releasing something in your life to help release something out of their life. You hold the key to their lock, and God's just asking you to twist it. Just twist it. Continue to speak the way you do. Continue to pray the way you do. Continue to show up the way you do. God has a purpose for it. He has a reason for it. And it's okay if you don't see it now. It's okay. Because something tells me you do, which is why you stayed this long. I need you to know God's not going to let you down. He's not. He understands. You're surrounded. Not just by fear, anxiety, anger, but now they're surrounded by you too. They have a light they have to respond to. A light that's in you that shines so brightly and can bring them out. You're not stuck with them, they're stuck with you. You're not going to a place of darkness, you're bringing them to a place of light. And God's going to help you do it. He is. And it's going to be something people start to realize, like, dang, like, this person was faithful. Maybe I should learn about this. Where does that faith come from? Why do they believe in God? And now they don't have, because a lot of people are skeptical. But because they have you and your example, it starts their belief. It starts the seed. Because sometimes the seed won't be a verse. Sometimes the seed will be you. You letting God live through you. You letting God's actions be shown in your actions. They see it. The light inside of you is so powerful. It's so great that the more you let it out, the more it enables other people to come out of their darkness. Your light shining amongst them doesn't put you on a higher pedestal, but allows them to see the higher up that you serve. It allows them to see who Jesus is. It allows them to realize there's something greater happening here. Something taking place that God will help them be a part of. So today, I'm just asking you to keep twisting that key. Keep allowing God to use you to set them free.